You're doing
All
a
the
classic
better.
next year?
I'm gonna do what?
Honor Classic next year?
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with the most recent physique update from Tonio Borton. And he also talked about his expectations for this upcoming Mr. Olympia. So a top 5 finish, especially this year in this kind of lineup. That seems like a bit of an overstretch. Because if you guys think about this, he's gonna have to take out some very big names like Andrew Jack, Martin Fitzwater, maybe one or two other guys, which to be very honest, seems quite hard, especially if all of these guys, they come in at their 100%. And do not forget, we have guys like William Bonac and Brendan Carey, who are pretty damn hard to beat. But that being said, everything is possible if Tonio Borton continues to improve at this pace and he keeps on adding more muscle and more mass without compromising his very classic and very beautiful lines, especially that waistline. So everything about Tonio's physique this year, especially the one that we saw at the Dubai Pro Show, that was very positive. He came in bigger and rounder in all the right areas with that very tiny waistline. And we have to keep in mind, a lot of people out there, they had Tonio Borton winning that show, beating William Bonac and Behrouz Tabani. And there was actually a very strong argument for that, especially between Tonio Borton and William Bonac. So Tonio Borton is improving at a very fast pace. And if he's able to bring bigger and better hamstrings in the back shots, that's only gonna benefit him in the side shots too. And they're gonna become even more competitive and even more complete. Because the side chest and the side triceps, they're the two shots where Tonio Borton is gonna lose a lot of ground against many top guys. Not to mention he has to bring a bigger and a thicker chest in the front two shots. Now I think all the top 5 or even top 7 at the Olympia, they have better side shots than Tonio Borton. But all that being said, he is our current Dexter Jackson in the making. And the way he looked so big and so round in terms of size, standing next to guys like Nathan Deasha and Rubial, that was just a glimpse of his true potential and how high this guy can go. But let me know what you guys think. Can Tonio Borton crack top 6 at the Olympia this year in October? Next up, we have a 5 weeks out physique update from Laszlo Kerali. Definitely one of the most anticipated returns in classic physique division after a gap of more than 1 year. And this time, coming in with a much better back and much better quads. So last time when we saw Laszlo on the stage, that was Texas Pro last year. And he did the crucifix pose. And many people thought that it was just over for the competition because he showed up with much improved legs. And one more reason for that was, the man is epitome of classic physique, especially from the front. And you have got to give him and his coach a lot of credit because they were able to fix the imbalance between his upper and lower half. And that too pretty damn well, since both these guys started working together. His overall flow and aesthetics, they look the best they have ever looked last year at Texas Pro. So the reason why he placed 4th, and that was actually a very controversial call, despite having the most classic looking physique in that entire lineup. So the major reason was that he got beat in the back shots by all the other top 3 guys. So this time Laszlo is aiming to bring a much bigger and denser back. And we have seen the comparison of how his back was looking last year versus this year. And he looks like a totally different bodybuilder now. So with a full year dedicated to hard and heavy training, his back and legs, they're gonna be the most improved body parts. And we know he is very capable of bringing that top level conditioning. So here is another crazy physique in classic physique who struggles a lot to improve and put on more muscle, as he's a very tall guy and is always fighting that weight cap. So I for one cannot wait to see him back on the stage, possibly win this show and qualify for the Olympia. Next up, we have an update from Regan Grimes, looking very strong at about 11.5 weeks out from this year's Mr. Olympia and hitting a muscle group, the chest, which has always been a very big weakness for him because whenever he hits that front double biceps, his chest kinda flattens out. And if Regan shows up flat, the chest is the first thing that just totally fades. And we saw this happen at this year's New York Pro, But that being said, there has been a big change in his physique. From 2023 to this year, he's overall a bigger and denser bodybuilder. But the fact is, he has a frame that will allow him to continue to add more muscle, more size, without the risk of getting blocked here, because he's so wide up top. So we saw the best of Regan this year at Cali Pro, the show that he won, but he missed his peak at Toronto Pro 2, a show that he was supposed to win and dominate, but he lost to Sazan Hirati. So Regan still hasn't been able to hit his stride just yet, especially when it comes to peaking 100% for the shows. So the question now is that, how he's gonna compare against those Olympia top 10 come October. Now that's a separate debate. The important one is him showing up at 100%. Now so many guys are expecting to place in this year's Olympia top 6, and Regan is also one of them. So the only way we see that happening is in a scenario where the top 5 from last year, they kind of missed their mark. Now I personally think this will be a much harder Mr. Olympia for Regan Grimes compared to 2023, because the lineup this time that is so damn deep. And a guy like Brendan Carey moving up because he placed top 9 at the Olympia last year, and the way he showed up for this past Arnold, Ohio, and the way he's looking right now, there is a 100% possibility that he's gonna be back in the first call out. So top 8 for Regan Grimes, that is gonna be an amazing result. But let me know what you guys think.
Oh, no. That's not in the cards right now.
No? Okay.
No.
I thought
No.
maybe.
You tried to be slick. You're not going to get me.
Hopefully we can get a reshuffle and get a new deck so you are in Arnold next year.
No, nothing's in the cards. They're doing anything after the old man. I'm really just seriously focused on 212.
So people and fans out there keep on pushing Keone Pearson to make the move from the 212 into the men's open. But based on his recent statements, it kind of seems like that isn't gonna happen even next year. Unless of course he's planning to give all of us a very big surprise. So he has guys like Lee Haney, Sean Ray in his corner, who will always be against packing up muscles, and that too very fast, which we have seen almost always leads to a bloated stomach and a blown out waistline. And Keone is just in no hurry to switch over to the men's open, as he wants to create his own legacy in the 212. Now for Keone, it's all about packing on quality muscle mass. And if we look at his evolution from classic into the 212, his overall aesthetics and his proportions, they have gotten so much better over the years. So there is really nothing to criticize about his physique, because everything that all these guys from back in the 90s and the legends of the game talk about, they were missing in the modern era. Keone Pearson has all of them, like the shoulder striations, a very tiny waistline, feathered up quads, guitar-like hamstrings. The man has everything. And that is just him at 11.5 weeks out. Now as far as the rest of the 212 class is concerned, Keone making the announcement that he isn't looking to do men's open anytime soon. That is such a bad news for all of them, because no matter how good they are, no matter how these guys show up, they are all fighting for second place. So Keone was 200 pounds on the Olympia stage last year. So he's gonna be anywhere between 3 to 5 pounds up, which means he's still gonna have at least 5 to 7 pounds before he maxes out. Next up, we have an 8 weeks out physique update from Theo. So he is definitely going for this year's France Pro and Europa Pro show, and Germany isn't also out of question. So this is an example of a bodybuilder who plays it very smart in reference to the kind of shows that he chooses. So Theo hasn't missed his Olympia qualification since 2022, and that means he has already gotten 3 pro wins. So he knows his limits, and he only enters those shows where he has a very realistic chance of winning them and getting his Olympia qualification. And this year his strategy again looks the same, but this time he's also looking bigger and leaner, weighing in the high 270s, and also in a bad condition compared to what we saw last year. So one thing that is constant is his ability to bring nasty kind of conditioning every single time he steps on stage. So he got the privilege of standing next to the reigning Olympia champion, Samson Dauda, and he looked more detailed than Samson, especially in those back shots. And the man also has some very impressive shots, like the front lat spread that looks superb on him. So a smaller waistline, bigger arms, and a better quad sweep, that is definitely gonna give him a little more edge over his competition at these upcoming shows. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.